White flag, white flag, white flag. 1 lap to go. 1 lap right here.
All right, final thoughts here, and of course, like every final thoughts episode, every final thoughts segment, man, I'm getting twisted up, man. And Kansas was so much fun to watch, so much fun. And I don't see how you're not getting twisted up about that.
Well, like I said, I didn't get to see the entire thing. So
okay, well, that's
really
understandable. But just like in every one of our final thoughts segments, we start off with In the Marbles 2.0 standings. A little bit of a shakeup, man. I'm not going to lie, a little bit of shakeup there at top. Of course, SMR, R&D, and Beamer on the Beamer still leading the way. SMR, R&D with 5,564. Beamer on the Beamer, 5,537. It's coming close, man. I'm looking for it. That's more fun to watch at times than I think the race because that's actual cumulative points throughout the season. Old school racing. That's it. In the Marbles 2.0. So much fun. Yeah. It's so much fun to have been watching. But we have a shakeup here. I got bumped down from third by S Blades, 5,191 points. I got 5,149. So I'm racing for third now, I feel.
That's a pretty good that's a close battle right there.
That is a very close battle. And she's making a resurgence for that $100 Amazon gift card we're handing out here in 3 races, ladies and gentlemen, to the winner of that league of In the Marbles 2.0. SMR Operations, which is you, 5,086. I feel like you didn't really make your picks.
I did.
I did too, and I didn't do so well.
I don't think I did well.
And if you listen to our show, Race Day Unhinged, there on the Unhinged Sports Network, you heard what our picks are. I think I picked Hamlin to win.
Yeah, I did too.
Ugh, man.
yeah, I think I did have Hamlin as the winner.
Yeah, we're gonna have to switch that up for Texas, definitely. But Meep Meep in 6 with 3,488, and I think Meep Meep all the way down. And I keep reading the names that are out. I think I'm just gonna be done with that. Anywhere from 6 on down to 11th, you are out of it. Better luck next year on In the Marbles 2.0. It's going to be fun to see. I think Beamer on the Beamer and SMR R&D are going to go all the way to Phoenix for that $100 Amazon gift card.
Well, what the problem was that when we were talking about it on race day was there was a couple picks I had to make that weren't playoff drivers because I was running out of.
Yeah, you want to save them up for, maybe Phoenix.
What I did when the playoffs started was I tried to use most of the playoff drivers right then and there because I was trying to make a resurgence.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Rookie move, man. Rookie move. You should know better than that. Absolutely, you should know better than that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, what can you do, man?
It is what it is.
But, man, we got I think this is my favorite part of the show where we get into the history of racing. And I love history. I love auto racing. The two together is like happiness. If anybody comes up to me and says, hey, you could be a NASCAR historian, I'll take that job. No questions asked. Well, I'm not asked what's to pay. Because if not, Caroline will be mad if I'm just volunteering being a NASCAR historian. Maybe when I retire, I'll go around from track to track because on my bucket list is to follow the circuit from Daytona all the way to the end of the season. So maybe I'll be the traveling NASCAR historian.
Oh, so will you have an RV?
Oh yeah, I'm going to take the podcast with me.
So you should put on. First of all, it'll say In the Marbles on it, but
no, yeah, absolutely
you should,
will.
With the names of people on the podcast, you should have on yours the self-proclaimed NASCAR historian.
Yeah, the self-proclaimed NASCAR historian. That's me, Matt Hammer, all day, man. But our driver of the week this week for In the Marbles is Lee Petty. I'm surprised we haven't done him ever. We did his son, Richard, but we never did Lee Petty. And Lee Petty is your driver of the week this week here at In the Marbles. 3-time Grand National Series champion in 1954, 1958, and 1959. Won the inaugural Daytona 500 in 1959. And when I was at Daytona, I met someone who was at that race.
Was that the race where it took him like 2 or 3 days to determine the winner?
Because if you look at the photo, if you're watching YouTube, if you look at the photo there on the right, the driver on the outside lane is a lap down. Petty's in the middle. I believe it's Beauchamp on the bottom. And they gave the race to Beauchamp originally. Oh, yeah. And Petty disputed it, and everybody sent in photos, and it took about 3 days for them to take that win away and give it to Richard Petty. An amazing career, inducted into the Motorsports Hall of Fame in 1990, inducted into the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America in 1996, the North Carolina Motorsports Hall of Fame inductee, as well as NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2011. over his 427 races in 16 years, won 54 times, 332 top tens, and 18 poles. His first race for NASCAR came at the 1949 number 1 race at Charlotte. His last race came in 1964 Watkins Glen race, the Glen 151.8. His first win came in 1949 in Pittsburgh, which I'm going to have to get more into that and see what Pittsburgh's all about for that racetrack. And his last win came in 1961 in Jacksonville. It could either be North Carolina or Florida. I do not know.
Yeah, that's not really specified very well.
But I will get that information for you. But that is your driver of the week this week here at In the Marbles. And again, another part of my favorite time, This Week in NASCAR. And for This Week in NASCAR, we go all the way back to October 24th, 1954. One of the original tracks on the NASCAR Premier Series circuit was the North Wilkesboro Speedway, a tricky 0.625-mile dirt track located deep in the heart of North Carolina's moonshine country. The 1954 Wilkes 160 was captured by West Coast driver Herschel McGriff, who bested Hall of Famers Buck Baker and Herb Thomas to win $1,000. The win was the fourth for McGriff, who after 1954 would race next in the Premier Series in 1971. And just for everybody's knowledge out there, in 2020, $1,000 will be worth $9,675.89.
Wow.
So he won a great deal of money just for driving a car back in October 24th, 1954. That was your This Week in NASCAR, and that will about start kind of wrapping up the show. Preston, man, it's good to have you back. The show is not the same without you.
Yeah, it's just been really crazy. You know, starting a new job, the schedule's a little weird right now. I'm working like all over the place, so
yeah,
hopefully it'll get.
It's so much fun, and I got to hand it to I was talking to Jim, who's part of the Unhinged Sports Network. He's the owner of it, pretty much the overseer of everything. And Jim was saying we work well together. He loves our dynamic. He loves our podcast, and I hope everybody else out there loves it too. It's so much fun to bring it to you each and every week, whether you listen to it on the Unhinged Sports Network or on your podcast platform. I don't care. I just want you guys to have fun and listen to us talk racing, and it's so much fun. A lot of big stuff coming on for us, and we're going to have a fun off season, but just getting us to the end of the regular season is fun as well.
Yeah.
And this whole season fun. This is our first full season doing this as far as the season, and we're going to make some changes here. We're going to make it better, but overall it's been a lot of fun, and we're not even done yet.
Nope.
But, man, it's definitely good to have you back. I'm happy that you're back. I'm happy everything's going well, because it is a lot of fun to just sit here and talk racing with you, man. It really is.
I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Formula One's coming back next week.
Yeah.
For Portugal.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Now, see, I love the way too when you and I talk. When you talk NASCAR, oh, the stage racing this and this. But when you talk Formula One, oh man, that was awesome. Man, Hamilton won by 5 seconds instead of 14 seconds. It was a close race. And it's like, man, that was so boring, man.
I just, like I said, I always like the fact that with just 20 drivers, they're able to cover the field.
No.
And just talk the entire time about the field.
Well, and I will give it to Formula One about this. From the lights out to checkered flag, no commercials, they're racing.
Yeah.
Or at least they're on the race. Let's just say this. They're not racing. No, let me rephrase that. From lights out to checkered flag, there are no commercials. They're watching the action on the track. And the commentators, man, they're talking the whole time, man, and it's crazy to watch them do that and listen to them do that. But I would have to say this: it's like one of those things where I personally not looking forward to Portugal. In fact, I guarantee you this, when Lewis Hamilton locks up this championship this year, which we know it's going to happen.
Yeah,
you're going to have to be the only one covering Formula One, because I'm not going to be covering Formula One.
What, next year?
No, this year.
Oh.
Because once he locks up the championship, it's boring to me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's fair enough.
You know, I mean, it's boring right now to me as it is with Formula One. And I wish they would change it up a little, but, we're too late in the season for anything like that to happen.
But, I need to check to see how many races are left. I can't quite remember.
There's a handful of races left, and I think maybe next week we'll get more into the weeds on that with Formula One coming back next week. But Preston, man,
6 races left, so it'll go well after NASCAR's done.
Yeah, just a little longer after NASCAR. But for those of you who don't know, we also started a Unhinged exclusive, a show on Unhinged Sports Network, which is exclusive, and it's Race Day Unhinged. We did our first episode. Make sure to tune into that on every race day morning at 9 a.m., whether it be Saturday or Sunday. We'll let you know prior to that. For Race Day Unhinged, where we give you, it's a pre-race show.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed doing it last time. It's not as long as the regular podcast. It's maybe 30 to 45 minutes long. But a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it with you last week, and I can't wait to do it again for Texas. So if you haven't checked it out, Race Day Unhinged on the Unhinged Sports Network every race day at 9 a.m. And make sure to give Unhinged Sports Network a follow there on Twitter at Network Unhinged, and follow them on Facebook, Unhinged Sports Network, for all the latest and greatest for not only in the marbles, but everything else that they have going on there.
Yeah, they got some pretty cool podcasts on there.
Yeah. And, a lot of fun to watch, whether you're a football fan, baseball, basketball, hockey, racing. They got everything there. They got a new soccer one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's insert name here, FC.
Yeah.
And, that's interesting. And even if you're not or even if you're not a fan of the sport, it's good background noise, it's always good to have. I've always saw it like this. It's always good to have a general idea about every sport.
Yeah. Only
because of this. You can talk to anybody then. I'm not a basketball fan, but I could tell you that the Lakers are a good team, or maybe the Nets need a rebuilding season. And, man, maybe Atlanta should have won the NLCS, championship against the Dodgers. But, if you listen to that, you get an all-around perspective on the world of sports, and we're just happy.
There's just all kinds of cool different podcasts. I listened to there was one the other day that I listened to for a little bit. It was Sports and Things, and they talk about the top sports headlines in the world and talk about music as well, because they're musicians, and I thought that's pretty cool that they have a podcast like that.
And that's a good thing about podcasts too. You could do or pretty much say whatever you want, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. And those guys are fun to listen to. And I've only listened to just briefly. It was just like, oh, okay. And then we had a call there at the firehouse. But it's a lot of fun, man. And it's still thankful to be a part of that network and that ever growing network. Make sure you show support there as well as here and all those other podcasts too, because it's a lot of fun to be a part of that. And I'm hoping that we're not only on the ground floor, something big here and in the marbles, but something big there at Unhinged Sports Network. But a lot of fun. And I'm just, like I said, when we're starting to wrap this up here, I'm glad you're back. We're going to definitely work out the schedule more, because if I have to do shows alone again, we'll do nothing but suffer.
Yeah. Make sure that doesn't happen again.
And you said it was a good show last week, but I didn't see it, man. I saw it as just a crummy show. But
I thought it wasn't bad. It's better. It's been, okay, so how many have you done by yourself now? Have you had to do by yourself?
I think at least 5 or 6. It's been one excuse after another for you.
Yeah, well, it's definitely better from like the first 2. So.
Oh yeah, because I had that opening I did was just one, I wanted to do it for a while, and 2, it added another 15 seconds that I didn't have to just say, oh yeah, and this and
the opening was really good.
Yeah, and that's from that documentary I told you guys about in the movie review, and it was a lot. It's true, man.
I wouldn't mind that opening every once in a while.
Just to remind people about how NASCAR is awesome.
It was good. It was really good. So.
But yeah, man. Now about do it, man. We're about at the end of our allotted time, not only for Unhinged, but for us, and we got really nothing else going on. But you have anything else before we start wrapping it up here, man? Anything at all? Anything at all? You looking forward to Portugal?
I'm looking forward to racing in general this weekend. But yes, I'm ready. I'm looking forward to Portugal. I bet
you pick Max Verstappen to win. I'll pick Lewis Hamilton to win. Whatever.
Yeah, I would probably go with Red Bull again.
And if you want to hear our predictions on the NASCAR Cup race, listen to Race Day Unhinged exclusively on the Unhinged Sports Network every race day at 9 a.m.
Yep.
And you will hear our race day predictions. That's a lot of fun to listen to.
All right, man, we got some breaking news.
Oh, we got some breaking news? All right. Here at the final thoughts segment of the program, we're going to be sandwiched by news. Okay, what's the breaking news,
All right,
man?
so there's a couple different stories. So as we talked about earlier in the show, according to Jim Utter, NASCAR has reinstated Kyle Larson effective January the 1st of 2021.
Oh, okay, so he
that
is reinstated.
Yeah,
so we all expected that to happen.
Yeah.
And so he's getting ready to come back, and maybe he'll go to that 14 car, man.
Well, not so fast.
Oh, no, wait.
There's
No.
another story here.
No.
Motorsport.com has learned that Chase Briscoe is moving up to the Cup Series in
that is
2021.
huge. Good for him.
To replace Clint Boyer
Good
at
for
Stewart Haas.
Him,
so,
man. He's most definitely deserving of that, and nobody can take that away from him. He has earned it. He said, I think earlier this season, he wanted to win at least 8 races before he's considered for a Cup ride.
Yeah.
He won 9 at Kansas. That is huge for Chase Briscoe, man. Congratulations to Chase Briscoe. Now that leaves this question. Stewart Haas has their stable of drivers.
Yep.
We've already talked about Hendrick not starting up a 4th team for Kyle Larson. If Kyle Larson gets reinstated, does he go maybe to fill that 98 car in the Xfinity level? Or is he a Cup driver? He is a Cup driver. He's a Cup winner.
Yeah.
But where else does he have to go? Jones is going to Richard Petty Motorsports.
Yep.
Briscoe's coming up to the Cup Series, replacing Boyer. Denny Hamlin starting their team. It seems like silly season pretty much set in stone here. Where does Larson go? I mean, does anybody take a risk on him?
All right, so I don't know if Hendrick never said that they were just cutting down to 3-car team. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, but with this case now, and there's no, we don't think that he's not going to go to Stewart Haas now. What if?
Oh man, and Tony Stewart was such a proponent of him coming back.
Yeah, what if Rick Hendrick is quietly in talks with people about sponsorships, securing sponsorships? What if all of a sudden he just comes out and said, hey, we're bringing back the 5-car
with Kellogg's?
Yeah, with Kyle Larson.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
I'm just excited the fact that we caught this breaking. So the schedule worked out a little weird this week, folks. So we had to record a little bit earlier in the week. So I'm just glad that we caught breaking news before the episode came out.
What also stinks is that when this episode comes out Thursday, everybody's going to know about it, but we got it before it went out. So, okay, we heard about it before anybody else heard about it. We're not playing catch-up here. So, finally, something works out in our favor that we could record something, breaking news. But, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and what was funny...
I'm happy with Larson coming back. He deserves it. He messed up. Mm-hmm. And I said it last week. Nobody's a water walker. Nobody deserves to not get a second chance. In case-by-case scenario. But here was just a mistake. It shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was a mistake. I think he learned from it. Let's move on. Let's not even bring this up. Let's just move on. And it's probably going to be brought up again.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we know it will.
But congratulations to Kyle Larson for being reinstated. That's a big step. Congratulations for Chase Briscoe. Now I hope that doesn't hinder. I don't think this is going to cloud his mind for a race championship run at Phoenix. I don't think it will. I think it
just gives him more of a drive to show that, hey, I am ready to be up there. So.
Right. And good equipment too. It's going to be fun watching him and Kevin Harvick fight each other. Oh, that's going to be good battles right there. But congratulations to Briscoe. Congratulations to Hamlin. Or not Hamlin. And congratulations to Kyle Larson for being picked up. Or not being picked up, being reinstated by NASCAR. Good on NASCAR for doing that. I applaud them for that. He learned his lesson. Let's move on. And it's going to be fun to watch both of those drivers next year in 2021 at Daytona. I can't wait. I'm even more excited about Daytona now.
Yeah.
But Preston, man, you got anything else? A big news story breaking there for us, man. And I'm glad we caught it and were able to record it before you had to go home. But anything else before we wrap it up here on episode 57?
Nope, let's send it home.
All right, buddy. I'd like to thank everybody so much for tuning in to us this week here at In the Marbles. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for the latest and greatest from the world of auto racing. And make sure to follow Unhinged Sports Network, especially on Twitter, at Network Unhinged for all their latest updates on their episodes coming out. For Preston Lude, I'm Matt Beamers. Thank you so much again for listening. Stay safe. and have a good rest of your week.